The Supreme Court today directed the Manipur government to apprise the apex court appointed committee of the steps taken to secure places of worship. The court also said that the Manipur government must furnish a list of damaged religious buildings to the committee. This move comes after the Supreme Court had quashed PIL seeking unions interference in restoring law and order in Manipur. The court also directed the government to ensure that those in the relief camps must have access to festivals. But before I take you to the subject matter experts, let me take you through some of the important observations point made in the court. So the first thing which has happened in the court was that SC wants a proposal to restore the places of worship. What can be done? How can it be secured? Because these are symbols. And what steps have been taken to ensure that the encroachment is also done away with? Basically, Supreme Court wants to know that these areas were the first places that were targeted. Moving ahead, Manipur government will furnish details in 2 weeks. They have taken 2 weeks of time. Manipur government will tell you, which is the court, how many churches, how many temples, how many other animist institutions or the places of worship of different communities can be identified, whether encroachment has been made or not. State also are asked to identify damaged structures. Some were burnt, as we know, some were damaged, some have been encroached upon. So it's a proper list which the government of Manipur will give to the Supreme Court, and this comes in the wake of the resolution of the issue of bodies which were kept in Imphal. And SC also wants the view of all communities on violence, which means that I think SC is also initiating a sort of a cross-community conversation. Moving ahead in our graphics, court also wants a report on encroachments. The encroachment on public property. A lot of places in Manipur have seen social demographic displacement. So that is one. And secondly, 250 churches are vandalized during violence roughly, and temples were also, 152 temples were also vandalized. This was a figure submitted by the government agencies themselves to the authorities to show that places of worship of every community got vandalized. It was not a one-way traffic. Every community suffered. So now my big question is, will people in camps and outside be able to celebrate religious festivals properly? Christmas is around the corner. One, can that be ensured? Supreme Court is also seized of that matter. As I said, with Christmas around the corner, can festivity take place in Manipur? Two things. Will people have access to festivals? Both Hindus, Muslims, tribals, Christians, and lastly, with the Christmas around the corner, can that festivity take place? Because if I go through the matter of the court in detail, which is part of our story, even if I quote, the court has very specifically said, based on the exercise of identification, the court also permitted the committee to prepare a comprehensive proposal for the way forward, including in regard to the restoration of places of worship. The state of Manipur shall tell the committee of steps taken to secure the places of worship. The government of Manipur shall furnish details of the identification of such places within 2 weeks to the court appointed committee. The court reiterated that the identification shall be across all religious denominations, very important,